Greetings, fellow moviegoers, and welcome to Movie Central, the place to talk about movies, TV shows based on movies, toys based on movies, games based on movies, and rides based on movies. I'm your host, Mr. CCS, and this is my pet gorilla, George. Today, we're going to talk about yet another emotional film by Pixar. But before we do that, I might as well get some history of this film out of the way first. Since Pixar had initially signed a 7-film deal with Disney, after their contract expired, they would no longer be in partnership with the House of Mouse. But Disney still owned the rights to the several characters created by Pixar, so the former would intend on launching a program called Circle 7, which would include sequels to Finding Nemo, tentatively titled Finding Marlin, more on that in the future, Monsters Inc., which was tentatively titled Monsters Inc. Lost in Scaradise, and of course, the third film in the Toy Story franchise, which was going to gain a PG rating due to some weird moments. But when Disney thankfully renewed their partnership with Pixar, those projects were thrown in the garbage and scorched, never to be seen again. Until Blast from the Past animation brings them back. Hashtag shameless plug. Pixar would eventually make sequels for Finding Nemo and Monsters Inc., but I'm not here to talk about those today. I'm here to talk about a movie that not only made over $1 billion, not only got critical reception that was great, not only winning an Oscar for Best Animated Feature, but also being one of the few animated films to be nominated for Best Picture, which it sadly didn't win. Dang it. That film, of course, is Toy Story 3. With our beloved Andy preparing to leave for college, Woody, voiced again by Tom Hanks, Buzz Lightyear, voiced again by Tim Allen and Javier Fernandez Pena, Jesse, voiced again by John Cusack, and the rest of the toys find themselves headed for the attic but mistakenly wind up on the curb with the trash. Woody's quick thinking saves the gang, but Woody ended up being donated to a daycare center run by a bear smelling of strawberries, voiced by the late Ed Beatty. Unfortunately, the uncontrollable kids do not play nice, and neither do the toys for that matter, so Woody and the gang make plans for a great escape. Like the first two films, Toy Story 3 is a movie that I grew up watching, going to see it in theaters twice as a 3-year-old, once at the El Capitan and once at the theater in Pasadena, pictures at the end. So that means this film means a lot to me. And even though it's my least favorite of the films, I can't help but still love it a whole lot. So, what makes this film so magnificent? Well, let's find out. First off, the characters in this film are perfect. Woody is very much still the confident leader here who just wants the safety of his friends but loses himself to selfishness before realizing the true meaning of his friends. Buzz still takes on the commanding officer role but is manipulated into being a guard for the villain, going into a hilariously amazing joke with Spanish Buzz, which is my favorite thing ever, before going back into the character we all love. Jessie has great moments in this too. Though throughout the majority, I just wanted to give her a hug because I feel so bad for her. The others of the toy army, like Slinky, Ham, Rex, and Mr. Potato, have great moments as well. And the climax in the incinerator, where they all hold hands and accept their fate before being saved by the little green men, in an amazing homage to the original movie, is still tear-jerking. Then we have the toys of Bonnie, which I did not bother putting a picture of, so just keep that in mind. Mr. Pricklepants, Trixie, Buttercup, the Peas in the Pod, and Chuckles. They're all great and serve the story well. Then we have the Sunnyside Gang. Sparks, Chunk, Twitch, Stretch, and even Ken. These guys act more like lackeys than villains, but they can be scary, or at least Big Baby is, but not as much as their leader. Lotso hug and bear, but please call him Lotso. He may seem sugary and huggable on the outside, but inside, he's a monster. It's all out of jealousy, yes, but he's still very evil and deserves his comeuppance towards the end. This is one of the last really well done Disney toys to reveal villains before it became very repetitive. Okay, that's enough about the characters. How is the animation? Well, like nearly every Pixar film I've reviewed, the animation here is absolutely stellar. I mean, if you thought the toys looked nice in the first two films, this film ups the animation quality by 11, and then some. As for the music, Randy Newman comes back once again to make yet another memorable score as usual. The most emotional parts of the score for me are the climax and the ending. So, yeah, Toy Story 3 is yet another highlight from the Pixar library. I 100% recommend this movie, and obviously, it gets a well deserved 10 out of 10 to infinity and beyond. Well, that's it for this review. Feel free to leave your comments on the movie below. And tune in next week when I take a look at a Pixar movie no one really likes. With that said, my name is Mr. CCS. This is Movie Central, and that, my friends, is a wrap. See you next week. So this is a picture of me at the El Capitan Theater with Buzz and Woody, and then on the left, there's just a picture of me meeting Buzz Lightyear in Tomorrowland. I figured I'd put that one in there as well. I just wanted to show you that these movies really mean a lot to me when I was a kid, and they still mean a lot to me now. So those pictures really just explain that.